Noah,
Hey.
good to see you again.
Good to see you, Jim.
Thanks for meeting with me again.
Sure.
What I wanted to do today is kind of go over what we talked about
Okay.
in our last meeting. You shared with me about your business, how long you've been in business, and your goals, and really what you want to do. And so what I did was I put together a comprehensive package that I think is going to be a great fit for your business. So what I want to do is just ask you a few more questions, make sure I'm on track with this.
Okay.
And then talk about Haibu a little bit and about the digital marketing, and present you with a good, solid solution for your business and see if we can move forward. Does that sound good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks.
So, first of all, you've been doing this for 25 years. It's a
Yeah,
long
it's been
time.
a while.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It seems like a long time. It goes too fast, though, which is.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
So, and you said you wanted to focus on tree service and you wanted to focus on landscaping. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
And then look into get it more into the commercial stuff.
Okay.
The residential's great. I've got that kind of set up.
You've
with
got the
my
lawn
customers.
service going and,
Right.
and that kind of stuff. Okay. All right. And are you looking to grow? I know that you talked about it. Maybe one truck, maybe two truck. What?
Well, we got 2 trucks right now.
Okay.
And we're looking at buying another one. That one I want to be for the commercial work and for the hardscaping.
Okay. And that's really where we want to focus on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the area where I feel that I can grow.
Okay. Great. The first thing I want to talk about is the digital space and just how diluted and complex it is. I don't know about you, but there's so many different parts of it. There's the social end of it. There's the website. There's the mobile portion.
It's
of it.
intimidating.
It is
It's a lot,
intimidating.
yeah.
It gets confusing, and so what we want to be able to do is put a comprehensive plan together for you so that it makes sense, it feels good for you, you don't have to worry about it, because the worst thing in the world to me is if you have one guy doing your website, you have another guy doing your pay-per-click, you have another one doing SEO, and who do I talk to? What's going on? Did you
Right.
call him? Did we pay him? It gets a little difficult.
I've got that right now. I've got my coupons page that we talked about last
Okay.
time. And I've got to deal with that guy. He's my print guy.
Okay.
And then my webmaster, who I can never get a hold of to make a change.
Well-
But it is just 2 people. But I can't imagine having 5 different people to call and
Right.
yeah, it's tough.
And the truth is that when you're really putting together a good solid digital marketing plan, you have to have all those things.
Yeah.
So we're going to see if we can't put together something that's going to make sense to you.
Perfect.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to talk about digital customers and what they look like. So you're obviously, you have an iPhone and you're searching on your phone, and you also have desktops or laptops. The first customer is a basic digital customer. And that's a customer that's going to get online, they're going to do a couple of searches, and they're going to say, boom, that's what I want.
Right.
Okay, does that make sense to you?
That makes sense, yeah.
He's not real complex, he's just going to go ahead and look at it and get whatever he's looking for.
Right.
So the next one is a digitally driven customer. And that might be a customer that gets on, maybe a millennial, he gets on, he's using Facebook, he's looking at Twitter, he's looking at some display advertising, he's searching stuff out. So it might be more of a complex type buyer.
Right.
And that customer is going to do all that work, and then he's going to come and buy.
Yeah,
Does that make
makes
sense to you?
Yeah. A lot more doing research, basically.
Right. It's a research customer. And then the third customer is the internal shopper customer. And that might be someone that says, okay, I need to get something done. Let's say, for instance, it's a water heater, it's a plumber. And he says, my water heater broke, I'm going to get on there, I've got to get this done. So he does a search for water heater repair. First thing he's going to do is he's going to look at reviews.
Right.
What kind of plumber is this? He looks, he reads a couple of reviews. I'm sure you do that. Do you read reviews?
Yeah, I'm starting to get into them.
Sure.
Yeah.
So he's going to look at those reviews and he's going to say, hey, this looks great, everything's consistent. Boom, he's going to call you. That's the kind of customer I want to drive to your business.
Right.
You don't want shoppers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I want people that actually take action.
Right, exactly. So you want somebody that maybe has sat down with their wife and said, hey, we want to put in a retaining wall, we know what we want, we've looked around a little bit, and now we're checking reviews and pull the trigger. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, excellent, thanks. So there's also 2 kind of searchers, and there's surfers and searchers. So the surfers are maybe the casual browsing the internet, glancing through social media, using it for recipes. My wife likes to cook, so she'll get on there and look up different recipes for dinner, and she's on some other social sites. I look at it. I like football, so I look at the football scores in
Yeah.
baseball,
Oh,
that
yeah.
type thing.
That's kind of like what I do.
Yeah. Does that make sense for
Yeah.
you?
Mhm.
So the other portion of it is the searchers, and that's somebody that's actively looking for a service. So again, going back to the person that maybe had the water heater that was blown. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they're going on there to look. Exactly.
They're not shopping.
Right.
They're specifically going after a service because they've got a problem.
Mhm.
So maybe whether it's their lawn that is just not doing well and they got to get it fixed, or maybe it's, so you guys do sprinkler repair and put all
Oh,
that
yeah.
into commercially.
Mhm.
So if there's a huge problem with that, that's something that you're gonna actively look. You're gonna find what you want and call someone.
Yeah, that makes
Make
sense.
sense? Do you have any questions about the difference between surfers and searchers and the different type digital users?
That makes sense to me. Yeah, I mean, most of the time I'm just kind of surfing around looking, but you know, we recently had a leak and we had to look for a plumber. I wasn't on there checking scores. I was
Well,
looking for a plumber.
You know, that makes total sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. You don't have time.
Exactly.
It's different than buying a golf club. You may look at 20 different golf
Oh,
clubs
yeah.
before you find what you want. So the next thing I want to talk about, and I think this is a very, very, very important slide, is the steps to building your online DNA, if you will, your business. And super, super, super important, and one of the most important things to me and to Google and the search engines is your listing information. So I got a question for you. So let's say you're looking for a restaurant, maybe they have multiple restaurants, maybe it's a chain, and you get on there, you get on the internet, and you look it up, and they give you an address, and you go there, and guess what? Business isn't there.
I'd be
Better
pretty
have-
upset. I'm not
Yeah.
going to go to that restaurant again.
Right, and that happens all the time, and
Yeah.
so what happens is it hurts you online when you have inconsistencies with your digital listings. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So it
absolutely.
needs to be exact on all the different search engines. You know, you have to be authoritative, and by having problems or discrepancies, it hurts you. So the first part of that is to look at your digital listings in all the search engines and make sure that all that information is the same. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So that, whatever they're searching you on, everything looks the same.
Same
If
address,
it's
same phone
abbreviated,
number.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I think that's just so important right now, and they put a lot of weight on that. It's a big deal. The next thing is mobile-friendly website, and a website. I'm sure that, do you ever purchase anything on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have, securely, maybe through PayPal or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when you're looking for that product on your phone, people are busy. You told me that, you've got 2 trucks, you want to add another one for commercial,
Mhm.
you're running all day long, and I'm sure that you're on your phone, and you may purchase something on your phone. You grab your phone and jump on a website.
Right.
And have you ever done that and got on and you're looking at a website, you're pitching it, pulling it?
It's frustrating.
Or
I just go back to
yeah.
Google. I'm done with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you looked at it on your desktop and then you're out in the field and you get on that and you're like, is it the same one I was looking at? Because it doesn't have the look or feel.
Right.
Does that make sense to you?
Oh yeah, it happens.
So one of the big things that Google wants to see is that you have a mobile-friendly site that looks just like your desktop.
Okay.
That everything looks the same across the board. Does that make sense?
It is,
So
yeah.
your phone, your tablet, your desktop, all of that.
Consistency.
Yeah, and that's
which I
something-
don't have right now. I'm like-
Right, and that's something that we do, and we know that it's important to the search engines, and so we want to do that. The next thing is the social aspect of it. I know that you have a little bit of Facebook going, but Facebook is a huge tool right now. You have children?
I do. I have 2 daughters.
Okay, and are they on Facebook?
Oh, all the time.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
That and that Snapchat or something. I don't know.
I don't know about Snapchat.
Yeah.
So, Twitter and Facebook. Social is just a huge part of building your digital footprint. You have to have it. We talked about getting your listings correct, having a mobile website, and then having the social aspect of that.
Sure.
And then the next thing is, you can have the great website, you can have all your listings correct, and if you don't have any way to get it out on the internet, it's not very good.
Who's going to see it? Yeah.
Right, and my analogy has always been, so if you're a car guy, so you have a 68 Chevelle, and you completely redid the car, but it won't go anywhere. And you're scratching your head and you lift up the hood, there's no motor.
Right.
The third part of this is the motor, and that's display advertising. We kind of touched on that a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and those are the ads you see come up when you're searching. You'll see, like, if you were
Oh, yeah,
searching
yeah.
for golf clubs, again, I'll go back to that, and then all of a sudden you're getting ads fed about golf clubs. Does that make sense?
It does.
The next part of that is the organic portion of it, so that you're coming up organically, and then the pay-per-click portion of it.
Okay.
So, you can have step one, the listings, and step two, the social and the website, but none of that's good unless we have a search engine pushing it.
That makes sense.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, for
Do you have any questions on that, Noah?
No, not so far. It's really explained everything great.
Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about our company and the experience that we have. Again, we talked about how diluted it is, and it's confusing space. And
It is. How
Who
many
does
calls
it
I
good?
get every day from
Yeah.
people saying they're from Google or
Exactly.
asking about websites. You don't know who to trust.
Well, and,
You know?
and everybody seems to be an expert
Right.
at this. They call you and they say, hey, we're the #1 provider. We do this at a high level. The truth of the matter is there's a handful of people that do this at a high level. And we've been around a long time. And when you look at what we've done, we have over 500,000 websites that we've built. And that's a lot. And you learn from building that number of websites. Not everyone was perfect.
Yeah.
So we're learning and the business is changing. The next part of it is we have 138,000 digital listings
Oh, wow.
that we've
That's-
corrected.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
That
Yeah,
is.
we've got a lot of experience in it. We've got 5,000 SEO programs, 35,000 display, and 80,000 or 89,000, pay-per-click
That's a lot.
campaigns out there. So we've seen what works and what doesn't work. And that's really important to you that, we talked about an all-inclusive business handling everything because it is confusing and you're talking to 3 or 4 different vendors. So,
Right.
we want to be that company that takes care of everything for you, and that you have a comfort level that, hey, these guys have done this before. It's not our first day.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Excellent. Okay. So, a little bit about us and our partnerships. One of the neat things is our partnership with Google, and we are a certified partner with Google. We work with them on a daily basis. We were one of the first partners, and there's just a handful of partners with Google that have to comply to, what Google wants, what they deem authoritative. It's really, really important, and I tell customers all the time, if you're uncomfortable doing business with us, that's okay.
Right.
But make sure that you do business with a Google partner, because we're held to a different standard. They're looking at what we do. They want to make sure that we're compliant to what Google wants.
That's important to me because I've had people trying to call and they're working from their home doing it. And
Sure.
I don't want to hand my business over to that. That doesn't seem comfortable.
Absolutely. And it's a big deal for us to be a premier partner with them. The next part of it is our relationship with Facebook, and that's relatively new. Facebook has not partnered with anybody with a business like us.
Okay.
And so what that means to you is that, they looked at hundreds of businesses, and who do they want to do business? Who do they want to partner with and represent them? Because Facebook's a big company, right?
Oh yeah.
Lots of activity on Facebook. It's not like nobody doesn't know who Facebook is. And so we went through this vigorous vetting process. And I'm really excited to say that we are the partner right now. And we're not only their partner, but we're the only partner that is a premier partner with Google and a premier partner with
Wow.
Facebook. So
That's really
for
cool.
you know that we're going to be doing things and how they're done the way Google and Facebook wants it done.
That is comforting. Yeah.
They're looking at us on our performance. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
So it's
That's
not,
nice to know.
it's not, you know, a guy named Matt running around in his trunk
Right.
selling Facebook that has no training and just doesn't know what's going on with it.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing is we're also partners with Bing and Yahoo.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So the big thing that I wanted to communicate to you is, you know, we're a company that's been recognized for their success. You know, we talked about how many campaigns we've run, and you don't get these partnerships without doing a good job.
Yeah, Facebook's not going to partner with you
No.
guys if you're not doing a good job.
Nobody wants to associate themselves with someone that doesn't do a good job.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So the next thing I want to talk to you is about reviews. And when I talk about reviews, I mean reviews on our business. You know, how are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
What are our customers saying about us? And I've got a couple of them here, a couple customers, and they're just talking about, you know, how we've improved their business, how happy they are, how their volume's gone up, maybe they've added a truck. So that's really important to hear from a customer, not just me.
Yeah.
You know, you can listen to me all day, but it's nice to hear from another business owner
It's
like
definitely
yourself.
reassuring, yeah.
Yeah.
The guys that I know, I mean.
Absolutely. Do you know any of these guys here?
Yeah, I see Sergio's Landscaping.
Right.
He actually started working for me about 20 years ago.
Sergio
His company
went
about-
on his
yeah,
own.
about 5 years ago he started one on his own.
He went with us about 5 years ago.
Oh wow.
And you've seen him grow.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
you know,
he's got a couple trades.
That's
At
right.
least 3 or 4 trucks, yeah.
We feel that, you know, with what we put together with Sergio, working with him, that we have grown and made an impact on his business. So again, it's not me, you know, showing you what we can do and,
Yeah.
who we're partners with, but it's our customers saying, hey, yeah, they're doing this. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. So one of the things that we do is, you know, we sat down at the beginning and you told us about your business, that you have a couple of trucks and you've been in business for 25 years and what you wanted to focus on and that you really want to push the commercial. So what I wanted to do is, first of all, look at your website.
Mhm.
How's your current website doing? Is it, you know, compliant with Google? You know, what's happening there? And then the next thing is we talked about the listings. Remember the listings we
Yeah.
talked about?
Oh,
So,
yeah, that's where I
you
need
know,
help on.
there you go. So how are you doing? So the first thing we did is, let me put my glasses on here. So this is going to be for your listings. And if we look at that, you've got some, you've got about a 46% score on those listings.
Oh wow.
So
That's an error rate.
it is the error rate. So we've got some issues. It's not the end of the world, but it's stuff that we need to fix.
We can fix that?
We can fix that. We can go in and do that and make sure, you know, we talked about that, make sure that everything works together in harmony and so it looks the same on all search engines. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
And so you look at this and you say that's a problem. The next thing we looked at was your website. And as I looked at your website, the biggest thing that jumped out at me, I think that it looks great, but remember we talked about the mobile piece of it and how
Yeah,
important
it's
that
not
is?
mobile friendly.
Well, and you agreed that you get on your phone and sometimes you purchase stuff, whether it's food you're bringing home or you know, you're out shopping,
Oh yeah.
your site's not mobile. So I think that's something that's really important and something that we need to address.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
That does.
So do you have any questions on anything that I've gone over right now?
No, I think you've been going over it great, yeah.
Okay, good. So let me walk through here. Bear with me 1 second.
Right there.
Okay. This slide to me, you know, as we talk about putting together a solution for you,
Mhm.
which is really important, this really speaks volume to me. And I want to walk you through this, and I think this is going to make sense. You know, we talked about the website, and then we talked about the mobile-friendly website, and then we talked about the listing portion of it, right?
Right.
So you got to have the listings done, then you got to have the website, and then we talked about, well, what are you going to do with it? Where's the motor?
Right.
And so that's the search, whether it's
Okay.
display, whether it's SEO, the organic side, or it's pay-per-click. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you look at this, and what this is this is an average of 50,000 campaigns we ran to see what kind of volume is getting driven to
It's a
the
pretty good
websites.
sample, yeah.
It is. It's a great sample. So if you look at a website alone, that website generates 68 clicks to your website. And this is an average, of course.
Right.
So it's a decent amount, right?
That's not, yeah.
But for what you said you wanted in the business and adding a truck, it's, I think it's short. I think it falls short of what we want to do. This is what's really interesting. So if you do the website and you do the digital listings, just those two, it increases at 100%.
Wow.
Look at the difference.
Yeah.
That's
Crazy.
136 clicks versus 68.
Right. Just from having that, yeah.
Just from having that. This is when it really gets exciting to me. So you do the website, the digital listings, and you know, these two things you gotta have. You just, can you see the value in
Oh,
that?
I do, yeah.
I mean, the mobile and the listings, and we know that you have issues with both of those.
Mhm.
You add in the online display, the display, we talked about that, you're up 266%, 249 clicks. And really, it's huge.
Yeah.
And really for you, when we look at what you want to accomplish, you know, I look at this package and I say, we know we need the website. We know we need the digital listings. That's a no-brainer. The online display, the SEO, and pay-per-click, you're talking 500%. 500%, you're talking 413 clicks driven to your business every single month.
And that's with the search with Google.
That's with the search, that's with Google, that's with the display, that's with the listings, that's with the latest and greatest website.
Okay.
So does that make sense to you when you add the products, the big difference?
Oh, big time.
I mean, it's huge.
It is.
So here's what I did, is we went ahead and put together a comprehensive package for you
Okay.
based on what you told me you wanted to do.
Sure.
So again, we talked about you know where you're at now, how long you've been in business, and that you really want to push the commercial end of it, and that you want to add another truck. So I think the number one package for you and businesses that are very similar to you, and we've got a lot of experience with this, that we've seen grow with this, is this package. And let me kind of walk you through it. So you have the digital listings that we talked about.
Sure.
You've got the review product, which is huge. You know, you've done a great job. And you've got photographs, and when somebody's going to do some landscaping or even commercial landscaping or add a wall, they're going to want to look at photographs and hear what people are saying, correct?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's a, you
Spending
know,
some money, you want to make sure you're doing it with a good company.
what's your average commercial job? 20 grand?
Yeah, 15,
Sure.
15 or 20. depending.
So you're going to look around and see what you do.
It's a lot of money to spend.
Our exactly. Our review product gets out there. It's going to take those reviews. I love this guy. They did a great job. We're going to get those good reviews on your website, continue to build that, and also on Google. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
Then we talked about the mobile-friendly site. You've got to do that.
That was a big thing missing.
Huge thing. The social marketing,
Yep.
the Facebook. That's a big deal. And then the display advertising. Remember, those are the ads that come up when you're searching. You were searching for golf clubs or whatever it was.
Mhm.
The next day, you're going to see those ads again.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then, right, and then the pay-per-click.
Okay.
And remember, with the pay-per-click, it's going to be at the top when you're searching,
Okay.
whether it's mobile or it's on the desktop.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So this particular package, and again, this is our number one selling package, is $899.99 per month, and it's a 6-month commitment. One of the things that I run into when I sit down with clients is, and it's kind of a relief, is that most companies are asking for 12 months. You know, we're asking for 6 months because we want to get this going and get some results. And the other thing is we're transparent. Everything we do, we're going to show you where you're at and how it's working.
Okay.
So there's no guessing.
Right.
Because, you know,
That's comforting to know. At least I know what you guys are bringing to the table.
sure.
you know?
Well, and if you call me and say, you know, how's it going? And I say, oh, it's going great. And you think, well, how do I know that?
Right.
How do I know that? So we're going to be able to show you that transparency. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Is this something we can move forward on today?
Well, you know, like I was telling you, I mean, I appreciate the time you put
Sure.
in and everything. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm looking at buying that other truck, you know, and we have some other costs coming in right now.
Sure.
So I don't know if that price point for me is do you have something a little less that maybe can incorporate a few of those things?
You know, we do. Let me just kind of back up for a minute, and really, I want to talk about, you know, the kind of clients that we're looking for. You're talking in the $15,000 to $20,000 raise, right?
Yeah.
So we'll round up and say $900 a month. You don't need too many clients
It's true.
to get a good return.
Yeah.
So, and again, remember that this isn't something that you're the first guy doing. We have a track record with this.
Mhm.
You know, we know these packages work well based on businesses your size.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
That does.
So can we move forward on this?
I get what you're saying. I mean, if I get
Sure.
one of those, it pays for it. It's
Right,
$5
exactly.
grand. I mean, it's like a
Right.
quarter of it. Just I have these obligations that I got to meet right now, but I want to do something with you guys.
Okay.
Do you have something else that got to fit?
You know, I do, and here's what I'm thinking. We talked about the website, how important that is.
Yes.
So I really don't want to take that out.
Okay.
I also don't want to remove the digital listings. I think that that's vitally important for you.
Those are the two.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, you know, you've been in business for so long, and we want to drive those reviews to your website, so I want to include that. And then I want to include the social end of it, the Facebook, and then this display advertising that we talked about.
Okay.
How about I do that for $59.99 monthly? Can we do that?
I think that makes more sense to me. And can we add the other things later?
You know, we can. We can add the pay-per-click later.
Okay.
It's very flexible. We can do a lot of things with that. The great news is I need $99 down today to get this thing going.
That seems reasonable.
Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
That sounds good.
Excellent.
I'm excited.
Okay, great. So here's the next step. We're going to go ahead and we're going to set up the interview
Okay.
for the website. That's the first part of it.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about
Yeah,
that.
we're going to schedule that out, and then what I would like to do is come back and meet with you in 10 days or 2 weeks or so,
Sure.
so we can go over the website and we can make sure that this is exactly what you want before we get this launched.
Okay.
We're going to make sure that we start out great. Are we going to have to tweak it a little bit? Probably, but we want to make sure that it's basically what you want.
Yeah.
So could we do this? Could we
I got
meet on
Thursday
the?
next.
We could do
week
that.
after next
Okay,
Thursday.
let's do that. We'll meet on
I'm open.
Thursday.
Okay.
Noon. Is that fine?
Yeah,
Okay.
noon actually works. Yep.
Excellent.
Get my stuff done in the morning and.
Perfect. One more question before I get out of here.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody that you could refer me to? You know, we feel like we have lots of packages for all different budgets.
Yeah. No, I've got my cousin that does that's helping with the hardscaping.
Okay.
He doesn't have a website for any of his tile or anything like that, so I'll
Excellent.
give him your card, you know, and obviously a good word to see what you guys do for me, and we'll go from there.
Excellent.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
Do you got a minute? We can get him on the phone right now.
Yeah, I can give him a call.
Let's go ahead and call him.
Okay. You want to? Maybe he can meet with us next Thursday too.
Why don't we do that?
Okay. I'll text him. I think he might be.
Okay.
working, but I'll do that.
That would be great if you could text him right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks again,
Hey,
Noah.
Thanks, Jim.
All right.